thank you very much to the Process Art Discovery audience for checking us out. Today I'm going to be talking to Lynda Norman, a watercolorist in Kelowna, worth your time and attention. So what advice would you give to someone starting out? I guess in your medium as a painter. Yeah.
As a watercolor artist? Well, as I mentioned, buy the best you can afford.
Right.
In terms of paint.
And I suppose
paper.
that if, again, the affordability, you got to juggle, am I going to get 12 colors in a spectrum, or you can start with maybe 4 or 5 even.
You can probably even start with 3.
With a simple palette, yeah.
With the right palette, and then mix from there,
Yeah.
which is another whole,
Mixing, right.
the whole thing in itself is mixing
A
the
scientific
colors.
study, that's something
Right.
to
I
learn.
mean, you'll be able to tell the difference of a painting painted by something straight out of the tube,
Yeah.
compared to something that's been painted with something, through mixed colors, and my palette itself is
shades,
filthy.
Yeah.
It has all different kinds of bits of color, and I call it palette dirt, and that's what I use often for shading and shadows and things where I want a bit of a darker color, and because it's made up of colors that I'm using.
Yeah.
You know? So basically a painting will consist of maybe 3 or 4 colors.
Right, essentially.
You don't want to use every color in the
So
crayon
maybe
box.
that's part of your advice. Start out simple, with a simple array of colors, and start experimenting with the mixing and learn how to get what you want, get a spectrum of colors from that.
I think first of all you want to determine what it is you want to paint.
Yes.
You know, do you want to paint abstract? Do you want to paint scenes? Do you want to paint portraiture?
Dogs, cats.
Exactly. So then you'll build your palette around that, starting small.
Yeah.
Learn your color wheel. Learn that, if you mix yellow and purple together, you won't get a beautiful pansy, in effect, if you've done it in the wrong order.
Yeah.
Of having the moisture on the paper, you'll get a brown, dead thistle looking thing. So.
Do you have to learn the designated names of colors? Because there can be a variation there that makes a mixing different with each one, right?
Yeah. So each color has so many variations.
Yeah.
There's and studying that a little bit is maybe important.
Yeah.
For me,
true primary colors essential, or is there a type of blue and a type of red that are better?
Yeah. So there's warm and cool colors, and there's quinacridones, and there's phthalos, and a whole range of there's thousands and thousands of colors and names of colors.
Just jump in and start alchemizing.
I would say, if you're buying your paints from
alchematizing.
That's it. That's the word.
That's the word.
If you're buying your paints from an art store.
Yeah.
So, for example, here in Kelowna we have Opus Arts.
Yeah.
Their staff is really knowledgeable,
right.
And they will help you if you went in and said, I want to start watercolor painting, and I want to buy 4 tubes of Winsor Newton, Daniel Smith, Holbein. They have a wide range of brands there, even their own brand, Opus brands, and they're lovely. Mm-hmm. They would work, and they will give you some information on what colors to buy, which would come together nicely. Then look at your.
Sorry, go ahead.
Then look at your paper.
Yes.
And you can buy a block.
Yeah.
Or a pad of paper. A block is already sort of sandwiched together,
yep,
and sealed on the edges, so your water is not going to make your pages curl up too much.
Good.
So that's handy to have. Otherwise,
paint on the block and then
you peel off your pages as you finish.
Somebody's a genius putting that together.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you would tape it onto a hard surface.
Right.
Some people still wet their paper and stretch it onto boards. I just don't feel I have time for that,
right,
or much interest in doing that. I just want to paint. So
right.
The quickest way to the end is good for me.
Yeah.
And then look at your brushes.
Yeah.
Natural hairs were always the go-to for watercolor, especially because they're more supple and they absorb more water. Nowadays, it's not ethical to be, harming animals to make brushes. Right. So there's lots of synthetics available that mimic squirrel or other brushes. Like I say, my Lebens and brushes from Seattle. He sources his materials from garage sales and estate sales. He'll
good.
take old fur coats and,
Yeah.
and taxidermy pieces and create
Yeah.
brushes and old furniture and make the handles. Bamboo, room dividers make beautiful handles for paint brushes.
Imagination's the limit when
Absolutely.
when thinking of art.
Yeah. So, but I guess my first advice is just start. Just start.
Yep.
If you feel that you're wanting to pursue a relationship with the pigment in the water and what you can do together, then move from there.
That's right.
Move from there. Get some nice paints on hand.
Yeah. Get ready and then get going.
And incorporate them, and then work on some nice papers and surfaces, and then some brushes, and like I say, sometimes you can create a beautiful painting with. I use a tab off a bread bag sometimes.
Oh yeah.
You know, to make the marks. that I
Nobody
want.
has to know sometimes how we're getting our paint
Right.
onto our paper. Yeah.
Right. That's exactly right. So I guess first advice: just start.
Yeah.
Just start.
I like that your whole idea about beginning to be creative has nothing to do with how it's to be viewed or received or critiqued. I mean,
Yep.
that's way far down the road.
Yeah. Put
Just
some colors
get
down.
going.
See what they do together.
Yeah, let your juices flow. And realize things with your hands.
Take a lesson or two if you can, or a workshop or
That
two.
never hurts. Yeah.
Go to art.
You can save time and all that experimenting just by learning from somebody who's got the experience. and the
Right,
expertise.
yeah, just for some tips and tricks, and maybe join a group of other artists.
Yeah. Thank you to the Process Art Discovery audience. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing this with you today. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and you will experience a lot more of Process Art Discovery.